Hello lovely people, welcome to my channel once again. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, I'm so sorry for this late video. I was so busy. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So what I've done, so this is the inside of the cup where you've got this yarn sticking out. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to put the cups one on top of the other. Then we're going to take our hook and we're just going to be working in the first dome. We're going to take our hook and we put it in the stitch where we did the single crochets. So now what we're going to do, we're going to join with single crochets. So I'm going to take my yarn, grab it, pass it through, and I'm going to just chain. And this is how I join or I secure my yarn. Right, after that I'm going to take my hook into the same stitch and grab some yarn to do a single, so single crochets is 2 loops and do a single crochets like this. Right, so I'm going to do single crochets in the storm. You've got 6 stitches including this one, so that means I'm going to do 5 single crochets and I come back. Please remember when you're doing the single crochets that when you put in the second stitch on this, you should also put in the second stitch on the other cup. Then you do your single crochets. That's how you're joining. So let me do the rest of camera and I come back. Okay, so after that you're going to chain 1 and you cut your yarn and pull after like this. So this is how we have joined. So you can flip it over. This is how we've joined our thing. So now we're going to start working on it now. Okay, so to start you're going to make a slip knot like this. Then you're going to chain 15. So 1, 2, let me chain the rest. Okay, so after you do your chain of 15, you're going to go just here in this corner, right here. Then what you're going to do, you're going to grab some yarn, pass it through. Then you're going to slip this one into this one, like this, right? After that you're going to work 2 single crochets in this part, 2 single crochets in this part. You're going to do 28 single crochets in this part, then 2 single crochets in this part and 2 single crochets in this part. Right, so you're going to do a total of 36. So insert your hook there. That's 1. That's number 2 into here, 1 and 2. Right, so now when you get to this part, you're going to be working in the middle part like this. Insert your hook there, grab some yarn, and you're going to do a single crochet, and you go to the next one like that. Right, so I'm going to do all the way until I get to the part that we joined and I come back. Right, make sure you can cross check by counting to see if the stitches are the same. So there should be 36 from here to here. Right, so you're going to get to the part where we joined. So here you need to do 4 stitches. It's not defined where you need to put your hook really, so just make sure that you have 4. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna do another one, 4, like this. Then we end the part of the other cup. So 2 in here, 2 in here. That's 4. 28 stitches here, then 2 here and 2 here. Right, so that's 36. Then we're going to do just 1 extra one here. Okay, so let me quickly do that and I come back. Right, so when you get to the end, please just be counting your stitches. So I said from this part to this part, that's 36 plus 1, that's 37. There's 4 here where you joined, then there's 37 up to here, then we change 15. So now what we're going to do, we're going to chain 16. I'll explain to you in a bit why 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right, so when we started I chained 15, but here I chained 16. The reason why is because we're going to be doing single crochets, so we're going to start in the second stitch. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to do 3 rows of single crochets from this point to this point to where we've got the chain, right? So single crochets all across, right? So let me meet you at the very end. All right, so I've reached the end of, I've done single crochets all across and in the right, so it looks like this. Right, so now what I just wanted to show you is to remind you that when you're doing single crochets, remember you chain 1 to start a new row, then you turn your work like this. So remember I said we're doing 3 rows, so this is 1 row. I'm going to do 2 more rows and I come back. Okay, so I've done my 3 rows. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to chain 2. So 1, 2, and I'm starting a new row, that is to turn. So now I'll be doing double crochets, and remember to double crochet, you yarn over, you insert your hook. I'm just going to insert in the first stitch, grab some yarn, should have 3 loops, grab some yarn, pass to the first 2, grab some yarn, pass to the second 2 loops, and I'm going to do double crochet in each and every stitch. So I'll do double crochets until I get to this end. Then I'm going to chain 2 and do another row, because we want 2 rows of double crochets. So let me quickly do that and I'll come back. Right, so I've reached the end, so I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to do another row of double crochets. So let me quickly do that and I come back. Right, so I've done the 2 double crochets. Now we're still doing double crochets and we're going to do 2 rows, but now we'll be doing double crochets like this to create this net. So to begin, I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, actually 3, 3, then I turn my work. I'm going to skip this one, so I'm going to skip the next stitch and work into the 3rd stitch. So grab yarn over and insert my hook into the 3rd and do a double crochet like this. Then after that I'm going to chain 1. So you're going to be, then I skip 1 and I work in the 2nd stitch to do a double crochet like this. Then I chain 1. Then I skip the next stitch and work in the 2nd stitch to do a double crochet like this, and I chain 1. So I'm going to do that all across until I get to the end. Then I come back. Right, when you get to the end, chain 3, 3, turn your work, and you're going to be working where you've got a double crochet, you do a double crochet, and where you've got this space, that's the chain 1. So I'm going to first do a double crochet, then I'll chain 1. Then I'll do a double crochet where we've got the double crochet, then chain 1. So you're going to do all that all across, then I come back. Right, so I'm at the very end. So you don't really have a double crochet here, you've got a loop, so you're going to yarn over, set your hook into that loop and do a double crochet like this, and that's how you end. So you're going to chain 2, and we want to do 2 rows of double crochets so that it matches this part. So we've already done our first double crochets by this chain, 2 chains. Then we're going to be working here and where we've got the double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook under that loop, grab some yarn, and I'll do a double crochet like this. Then where we have a double crochet, I'll also do a double crochet like this. So that's what I'll be doing all across. making sure that where I have a double crochet, I put a double crochet, and also where we did the chain one here, we also do a double crochet. So I'm going to do double crochets this whole row, and I'm going to do another row of double crochet after this. Remember, when you start a new row of double crochets, you need to chain 2. So I'll meet you when I finish the second row of double crochets. Okay, so I've just done the two rows of double crochets. Now I'm going to start the fan stitch. So to do that, it's a stitch of 4 rows. So the first row, you chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Then I turn. I'm just going to remove my hook. So after I chain 4, I'm going to count 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I put my hook back. So into the 5th stitch, which is here, I'm going to do a single crochet. Then I chain 4, 2, 3, 4. Then I count 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the 5th stitch, I do a single crochet. So that's what I'm going to do for this whole row. So it's chaining 4, then doing a single crochet in the 5th stitch. So when you get to I'll meet you when I get to the end. Okay, so the last part you have 4 stitches instead of 5. So that's okay. You still chain 4. Then you do a single crochet into the last stitch. Right, so that is your first row. Okay, now we're starting the second row, and to do that we chain 1 to turn. Then I'm going to turn my thing. So now what we're going to do, into these loops that we'll be working, I'm going to do 9 double crochets into this loop. So yarn over, set my hook in there, and I'm going to do 9 double crochets. So that's 1. I'm going to do 8 more. Okay, so these are 9 double crochets into that loop. Into the next loop, we're going to do just a single crochet, like this. Then into the next loop, I'm going to do 9 double crochets. So you're going to be alternating 9 double crochets. Then in the next stitch, you do a single crochet. So 9 double crochets, single crochet, 9 double crochets, single crochets, like that, until you get to the end. Okay, so that's what you'll be doing in row 2. So let me quickly do that. Okay, like this. I've just done 9 double crochets, then into the next single crochet, like that. So let me continue to do that, and I'll meet you in the end of this line. Okay, so I've reached the end of this line. I'm also going to go into this stitch, the last stitch here, and I'm going to do a chain or a single crochet like this. After that, I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is how we start our third row. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip the first double crochet, this one, and the last double crochet, this one, right? So I'm going to skip this one, then I'm going to start in the second one. So in here, so I'm going to do a double crochet in the second stitch, like this. After that, I chain 1, right? Then I go into the next stitch and I do another double crochet, and I chain 1. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm working in the 7 stitches. If we skip the last and the first, I'm working in the 7 double crochets. And what I'm simply doing, I'm doing double crochets, but I'm chaining 1 at the end of every double crochet. Okay, to save time, let me quickly do that. Okay, so when you finish, you should have 7 double crochets on top of your second row, like this. So now what I'm, okay, so if you look at your thing, you should have 7 double crochets, and I've chained 1 at the end here. If you count them, there should be 7. So now I'm going to work in the next shell. So again, I'm skipping the first double crochet and the last double crochet, so that you're working in the 7 double crochets in between. So I'm going to work in that second. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into that second, grab some yarn so that you have 3 loops, and I'll do a double crochet like this. Then I chain 1. Right, so I'm going to repeat what I was doing double crochets in each of the stitches of the 7 double stitches until I get to the end. That's what I'll be doing. Remember to chain 1. If you count them, there should be 7. So this is my last one on this shell. Then I chain 1. After doing that, I'll go and I'll work in the second shell. So I'm going to work all the way down until I get to my last shell. Right, so when you get to the end, we're going to do a treble stitch. So to do a treble stitch, you're going to wrap your yarn twice on your hook. Then we're going to go into the last stitch from the previous row like this. I'm going to grab my yarn, pass it through. You should have 4 loops. Grab your yarn, pass through the first 2 loops like this. Grab some yarn again and pass through the second 2 loops. Grab some yarn again and pass through the last 2 loops. That's the treble crochet. So now we're going to do our last row. Okay, so now we're doing the last row of this fan stitch. So I'm going to chain 4 to start a new row, and this is the last one for that. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be working in these spaces. So I'm going to take my hook, put it there, grab some yarn and do a single crochet. After that, I'm going to chain 3, then go to the next loop, do a single crochet, then chain 3, single crochet in the next loop, chain 3, single crochet in the next loop, then chain 3, single crochet in the next loop, chain 3, then chain 3, chain 3, single crochet. Right, so if you look, it will create this wavy border like right there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a single crochet here that joins like this, or that finishes this. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the next shell here. I'm going to insert my hook there, do a single crochet, then chain 3, then go into the next loop, do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the next loop, chain 3. Okay, so that's all that you'll be doing in this row. Then at the last spot you just chain 1. Right, then the part where you've got that's joining the 2 shells, remember you do a single crochet like this, then you single crochet and start all over. So I'm going to do that the whole row, then I come back. Okay, so when you get to the very end, just do a double crochet like this. Okay, so I'm going to end this video on this note, then I'm going to show you in the next video how to do the second fan stitch and what we're going to do with the edges here. Right, so I'll show you in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do look forward to more videos. Thank you so much. Okay, please do subscribe to my channel and turn on those notification bell. Thank you so much.